Please remember to like this video, comment down below, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and share this video. Also, in the description of this video, you can find my compiled link. Through there, you can find my YouTube channel, Patreon, email, Your Playmat affiliate link, TCG Player affiliate link, Discord, Twitter, TikTok, and Non-Magic the Gathering YouTube channel, the CJ. Thank you for watching. How's it going, everybody? CJ here, back with another video. We're doing a first thoughts today. This first thoughts is on Anhelo the Painter. A lot of cool cards been getting revealed for Streets of New Capenna, and his commander seems super interesting. Very, very cool card. It's got a new keyword on it, being Casualty. It gives your first instant or sorcery each turn Casualty 2. So if you sacrifice a creature with power 2 or greater, you get to copy the spell. That's crazy. This card seems really, really powerful, and it's only 3 mana. I love this thing. So you're going to just be able to make this into like a sacrifice Spellslinger style deck where you're sacrificing creatures to copy spells and do fun stuff like that. So the categories I'm going to be talking about today are some different ways, some different stuff to sacrifice, and a little bit of Aristocrat stuff because you're going to be doing a lot of sacrificing, so you might as well capitalize on that. Some Spellslinger cards because you're going to be casting a lot of instants and sorceries. Some good spells to cast so that way you can copy them. And then a bunch of one-off cards. So starting with the sacrifice stuff, the first thing I want to talk about is token generators. Because one of the good ways to sacrifice, one of the good ways to have things to sacrifice is through token generators. You need to have tokens with power 2 or greater. So some of the options for token creators include Ashiok, Nightmare Muse, Birthing Bows, Bloodline Keeper, Chandra, Flamecaller, Curse of Disturbance, Curse of Shallow Graves, and Curse of Relentless Dead. You're going to see a lot of these actually create zombies, so you could do a sub-theme with zombies. Death Priest of Merkel. Technically, they're 1/1 skeletons that you're creating, but it gives a +1/+1 buff to those skeletons, so they're 2/2s. Fairy Artisans seems really cool in this deck because it will just create tokens of anything. So if your opponents keep playing things with ETB effects, you get those effects. Plus, you'll end up with a token that you can sacrifice. And if you have a lot of instant speed interaction or instant speed cards, you can sacrifice the tokens before they go away when a new token would be created, which is really cool. Grave Titan seems fantastic. Liliana Death's Majesty / Liliana Dreadhorde General, both those seem fantastic. Especially Dreadhorde General because it also has the trigger to draw cards whenever a creature you control dies. Lawlith can make you some spiders. Rite of the Raging Storm seems really cool in this deck. It's going to create a lot of damage to be swinging around, and it gives you a token to sacrifice, which is nice. And then if you do go heavy into the zombies, Wilhelt seems very good in this deck. Like, you could really go heavy into a zombie sub-theme in this deck. Like, it's just zombies, and you sacrifice the zombies by casting spells. That seems good, because zombie tokens are typically 2/2. And there's a lot of ways to make zombie tokens. So that's a cool sub-theme that you can do. And then you can make it like zombie tribal with a lot of instants and sorceries. You also, if you go in a token route, Idled Oblivion seems fantastic in the deck. Another thing you can do is sacrifice recursive creatures so that we can just reanimate them over and over and over again. That includes Narfi, also a zombie. Bloodghast, this one's fantastic because you can recur it for free. Bloodsoaked Champion and Gutterbones are both pretty fantastic. Master of Death is nice. It comes back to hand, which is not the best, but it could be worse. Prized Amalgam seems pretty good because you're already going to be recurring things. And you got Relentless Dead, which is a very good card, and Rekindling Phoenix, which is another very good one. And if you're going to go heavy in the recursive creatures, you can throw in cards like Open the Graves and Tormod the Desecrator. Both of those would create tokens when you have things leave your graveyard, so works out really well. Next up, we're going to talk about some Aristocrats cards, because you're going to have a lot of creatures dying, so you might as well be able to capitalize on that. You have cards like Eloise, which is really good when you are going the token route. Erebos the Bleak-Hearted, Grim Horospex, Midnight Reaper, and Dark Prophecy all let you draw cards. You have Judith, which lets you ping some stuff. Blood Artist and Cutthroat and Sir Conrad to drain your opponent's life. Sir Conrad is really nice because it also works well with the recursive creatures. Black Market can give you a lot of mana, and then you have cards like Dictate of Erebos and Grave Pact to make your opponent sacrifice things, which is pretty good. Next up, I'm talking about some Spellslinger cards because you're going to be casting a lot of instants and sorceries. Stormkiln Artist, create some treasures. Archmage Emeritus is a good card draw engine. You have Goblin Electromancer and Baral to let you cast your spells for less. Same thing with Nightscape Familiar, very good card in this deck. Primal Amulet is a very cool card as well. Talrand and Murmuring Mystic can net you some tokens, and Talrand's tokens are 2/2s, so that works really well with your commander. Same thing with Young Pyromancer and Sedgemoor Witch, those also give you tokens, but unfortunately they are 1/1s. And then Burgee nets you some mana or gives you a card draw engine. And next, we're going to talk about spells that you can cast that would be good to copy with Anhelo. Those include Mizzix Mastery, Mana Geyser. Well, there's two subsections. There's a big spells and a small spells, because the small spells are more if you want to go heavy on the like Spellslinger aspect, and the big spells are just like splashy things to copy. Mizzix Mastery, Mana Geyser, Factor Fiction, Mystic Confluence, Sublime Epiphany. Extra turn spells, those seem fantastic, especially cards like Expropriate, that's devastating. Blatant Thievery would be very cool in this deck. Mnemonic Deluge. Fevered Suspicion seems very fun. Torment of Hailfire, just game-winning card right there. Aminatu's Augury seems nice. Bribery and Acquire both seem very cool in this deck. And then some small spells that would just like work really well with your Spellslinger cards. You have Brainstorm, Frantic Search. That's a really nice one to copy because it can untap extra lands. Ponder, Faithless Looting, Opt, Chaos Warp, Bedevil, Consider, and Jessica's Will. Jessica's Will is a crazy one to copy. And you want to have as many instants specifically as you can in the deck because it's each turn. The first one you cast each turn. So that means in your opponent's turns as well. Instants, you can do that with. Sorceries, unfortunately, you can't. So you're going to want to have a really high number of instants in the deck to get full value from this commander. And then some one-off cards for this deck. Twinning Staff, double your copies, seems great. Gaudy Turtle Kefnet, Jingataxis, Swarm Intelligence, and Double Vision are all good ways to get some extra copies of your spells going. And then you have actual spell ways to do that, which synergize a little better because you can also copy that, being Galvanic Iteration, Reverberate, Fork, Repeated Reverberation, and Reiterate. Fantastic cards for this deck. Army of the Damned, Empty the Pits, and Rise from the Tides are really good ways to make a lot of zombies all at once. That's really nice. Very powerful effects there. You have Kess and Lear to be able to cast your spells from the graveyard. Mind's Dilation lets you cast spells from your opponent's decks whenever they cast their first spell each turn, which means that if you hit an instant or sorcery, it's the first instant or sorcery you're casting that turn, so it'll gain Casualty too. So, you can copy it. That's fantastic. Great synergy there. And the last thing I want to talk about, Vidalcanori and Leyline of Anticipation. Seem like auto includes in this deck. It lets you cast your instants and sorceries at instant speed. So your sorceries at instant speed, and lets you get the Casualty 2 going more and more just because you're not restricted to just instants during your opponent's turn. And that is everything I have for Anhelo the Painter. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you next time. Peace out, everybody.